Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. Children, in the last class, we have learnt about the sex ratio in the population and how sex ratio is very important to identify the inequalities in the society. The discrimination, the gender discrimination in the society can be observed through the statistics of sex ratio. Sex ratio is nothing but the number of females present per every 1000 males in the population is called as a sex ratio. According to the 2011 census, India has 940 females per every 1000 males, whereas Telangana has 988 females per every 1000 males. And we also have seen that the income, even though it is high, the sex ratio also may be low. For example, in states like Punjab and Haryana, where the income levels are high, even there the sex ratio is very less, and we can find the gender discrimination there. It is 870, 880. So that shows that female infanticide is mostly observed there. And there are certain states in the country which has a positive sex ratio. For example, Kerala, where the sex ratio is 1040. That means for 1000 per 1000 males, there are 140 females are there. That's a positive sex ratio. And even in countries like America and European countries also, you find the positive sex ratio, the number of females will be more. According to the health journal or health research also, most number of females will survive than the males. They are naturally immune born, so they sustain the survival rather than the men. So according to their research, female number should be more than the males. But originally what is happening is from 0 to 6 years per every 1000 males there are only 919 females. So you can understand what is a case of female infanticide in the country. And coming to today's topic is a literacy rate, children. So we shall learn about the literacy rate. What is literacy, children? The ability to read and write is called as a literacy. So we define it through literacy rate as a person aged 7 years and above who can read and write in any language. The person who is 7 years and above who can read and write in any language or understanding in a language is treated as literate. So literacy is a key for the socio-economic progress of a country, and literacy rate determines the development pattern also in the country. At the time of independence in 1947, the literacy rate of India was just 12%. Only 12% of population was literate, and in 2001 it has grown to 65%, and by 2011, according to the 2011, the literacy rate of India is 74.04%. This is according to the 2011 census, children, and these numbers are very important as these are asked in the objective type questions. The sex ratio of Telangana 988, the sex ratio of India is 940, and the literacy rate of India according to 2011 census is 74.04%. So at the time of independence it was mere 12%, which has increased to 74%. And out of this also, again in this, there is a wide disparity between the literacy rate of men and women. Men are 82%, whereas women are 65%. So there is a wide difference even between the men education and female education. It was pointed out earlier that those people who are in the age group of 15 to 59 are considered as a working population. So they might work throughout the year or only for a part of the year. This depends upon the profession or the availability of the work. And as discussed earlier, this does not cover the unpaid work of the home workers. That means homemakers are there, our mothers work at home. Do their work also comes under that working population? No. The census of India groups them into 4 categories. The 4 categories are: first category is cultivators, second category is agricultural laborers, third category is workers in household industries, and fourth category is other workers. So I am mentioning the categories into which the working population is generally divided into. The first category is cultivators, children. Cultivators. The second category is agricultural laborers. And third category is laborers in household or laborers in workers in household industries. And fourth one is others. So these are the four categories into which the working population of the country is divided into. And if you look at the percentage of the workers in this category, cultivators are 25% are there, and agricultural laborers 30% are there, whereas laborers in household industries are just 4% and others are 41%. Then who are called as cultivators, who are called as agricultural laborers, and who comes under these others? If you look at the census of India has grouped them into four categories. Cultivators are the farmers who farm a specific piece of land, or they supervise the land that they own or take a rent. They supervise and they cultivate in that piece of land which they take as a rent or which they own them. And agricultural laborers are those who work on others' agricultural farms or fields are called as agricultural laborers. Or workers in household industries would be those who are manufacturing or repairing some products at home, such as de-husking of paddy, or BD workers, or potters, and even weavers, repairs of footwear, manufacture of toys, matchboxes, etc. These all comes under the workers in the household industries. And fourth one are the others. Others workers include those who are employed in factories, those who are employed in trading and casual labor, and those who are employed in transport. All these people comes under the others, and that accounts for major, that is 41% is occupied by the by the others only. So this is how the working population has been classified. So today we learned about two things, children. One is about the literacy rate. The second one is about the classification of the working population. In tomorrow's class, we shall learn about the changes in the population size. So what is population size and how the changes in the population size will impact the population, we will see in the next class. Thank you, children.